Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Hope everyone's doing well. I just came back from walking the dogs. Made it a bit more interesting when we saw our seemingly resident Canadian black bear. Very large, very well fed. Our neighbours lost their piglets. I suspect that bear has no aversion to pork. So yeah, anyways, it made the dog walk a little bit shorter. Last thing I need is for the dogs to be thinking that they're off to be chasing bears. Not good at all. Anyhow, when I was on my dog walk, I listened to two lengthy interviews Dave Allen gave. One was to Kugan Cassius. I can't remember who the other one was to. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Much of what Dave Allen said is, going over old ground. Nothing really that I need to spend time talking with you guys about. We've already covered it. The usual sort of, feeling good, camp was good. I'll be happy whether or not I win, lose or draw, in a good place in my life, etc., so forth. So lots of that. There was one thing that was interesting, and he admitted that he had used tricks, inside the ring tricks, in his first fight. Yelling break himself and stuff like that. He also said he doesn't think he'll have the same degree of luck as he had last time. Because last time, of course, he caught him and, Fisher was not yet switched on, right? Protect yourself at all times. He doesn't think he'll be that lucky again, but he's brimming with confidence without being sort of no hyperbole. We'll still be friends afterwards and all that sort of nice stuff, right? But he did explain something that was interesting. Previously, he said on multiple occasions that him and Eddie Hearn had some business problems and that, Eddie had done him over. And many of us interpret, he did him over as some sort of chicanery, some sort of sharp practice, some sort of taking advantage of on the part of Matchroom. And it's a bit more nuanced than that. What he says, it does come down to money, but it's not that he wasn't happy with the money at the time. And so that's the real issue. It's like now at, 33, he can look back and say, that version of me was silly to do it for that person. Like, I didn't know my own value. And that's a bit different to what done him over means. It's really, unless you could show that, Matchroom absolutely knew that he was completely blindly naive and, couldn't enter into an agreement because he was so, childlike in some ways. That unless you could show that, most of us would say, well, that was the deal you cut at the time, so it's not done you over. And I think that that's where Dave Allen would like us to be. To think of it now as that he and Eddie may have had a slight bump in the road, that there's nothing to see here, no issues, they're all good again. Because Dave Allen did say a number of times over these quite long interviews that, Eddie has been good for him, he's given him opportunities, he's, been responsive to him when he's asked, for advice. And I think that Dave Allen would like us all to think that everything is good with him and Eddie Hearn. And I think the reason for that is quite clear. He said that particularly if he beats Johnny Fisher, he's got about 22 months until retirement. He said he wants to retire at 35. And so if he's in a good place with Matchroom and he hasn't been publicly saying negative things, then it's likely he can get a couple more decent fights, paydays, because he said that's all it's about. Like, he's very self-aware He said, there's no way I'm going to win any kind of championship. This is all about money. Want to retire at 35. And obviously then he's made himself even more financially secure. So I suspect that he's trying to sort of walk back any discussion that there'd ever been about how Matchroom did him over, and that there's nothing to see here. It's all about the money from now on. And I think that's probably 100% true. So there we go. That's a quick distillation of about an hour or so of Dave Allen talking. Hopefully you liked it. Please hit like, share, subscribe, and wherever you are, have a fabulous morning, afternoon, or evening. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.